Hi, welcome back to EducateTube.com. My name's Sipsky, your host. Today we'll be talking about the three drones, professional drones produced by DJI, the S1000, the Inspire 1, and of course the P4 Pro. Now all these has their advantages and capabilities, but I'm just going to talk about today is the flying experience. Especially these two, the S1000 and the Inspire 1. I'm not going to talk about the P4 Pro because if you know how to fly P3, whether standard, professional, or advanced, the P4 and the P4 Pro pretty much are the same line. They fly the same, the control is the same, except of course the apps, the capability of the app is a bit different. You have other features in P4 Pro that's not found in P3 or P4. And Mavic as well. So I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about these two, the S1000 and Inspire 1, and the flying experience. At least when I came across it when I was flying these two. I can tell you right now, the S1000, the flying experience is totally different than the rest of the drones. It is such a large drones. It weighs about 5 to 6 kilograms, depending what kind of camera you put on that drone. But whenever you fly it, your heart starts pounding. It's that kind of experience. The rush comes with this S1000. If you have a chance to rent it out, and and there's some experienced pilot, that flies with you, this is the drone to experience. It just feels like you're controlling a helicopter, except a very large one with a remote control. But it's the feeling is that when it goes up, you just feel like, ooh, it's can you control this thing? It's like actually, when we're talking about riding, a little donkey versus an elephant, this would be an elephant. It's that kind of feeling. The Inspire 1, of all the three that I own, the P4 Pro, the Inspire 1, and the S1000, the Inspire 1 feels the best in terms of flying experience. It's for some reason I feel it's sturdy. It feels futuristic. It just feels solid. If you had to choose between three of these drones, I would say I would go with Inspire 1. It's the flying experience is amazing. It just feels that you have total control of it. It doesn't feel scary. It feels like you're empowered by its a unique feature. That leg goes up as you fly it. It's just amazing. As it hover up, it feels so futuristic. And I think that if of all the three, Inspire 1 is the best one. I think that's why DJI went on to improve their DJI Inspire 1 to become Inspire 2, which is that their mainline professional now. Because I think when I was flying Inspire 1, I felt that this was the best flying machine. And now DJI came up with the Inspire 2 with the Micro Four Thirds camera. It's unbeatable drone. Now I'm not saying the S1000 is not great. The one thing about the S1000 is it's have a flexibility to put in huge camera like the Sony A7 or the Canon D5 Mark III, or even I don't know if they have one for Mark IV. And that would mean that you can add other bigger type of camera, the full frame or the APS-C camera onto this S1000. So if you're really serious about epic movies and all that, of course this S1000 will be the way to go. Whereas the Inspire 1, if you have the Micro Four Thirds short films, even maybe a low cost budget but pretty limited budget film, I think Inspire 1 would be way to go. And even the P4 Pro, it has 1-inch sensor, so that's also great too. All these three drones is a very good option depending on what type of short films or films you're doing. All right. Now I'm going to show you quickly about a minute or less of the video that I filmed on my camera. As I'm using the action cam to show you how I fly my Inspire 1 and my S1000. Okay, and I'm just going to talk in the background quickly how I feel about it. All right, let's have a look at it right now. Okay, here we go. I love flying Inspire 1, as you can see here. I love it when the landing gear is lifted up and is ready to go. It's so futuristic. And the flying is just so smooth and, what do you call it in photography? Creamy. So amazing drone, one of the best. If I say of all the 3 drones series, the Phantom, the Inspire, and the S1000, I would have to say Inspire 1 or 2 is the best flying drone ever. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's not scary to fly. It's very sturdy. I feel like I'm in control, and I feel like I own a futuristic technology. The camera is amazing. It's equivalent to Phantom 4, if not better. I think it's much better because if you have the second remote control, for example, you can control the camera and move it 360. The option to be able to put on the X5 camera, micro four thirds, as well as a was that the FLIR camera? That's like the heat sensing sensor camera. No, you can't really have access to that. You actually need permission to fly those kind of drone with that camera. But anyway, having that type of option is amazing. So you can see I'm flying it, and I actually put it on basic or beginner mode, so it will fly maybe 30 meters away and it will stop. So that's what I did. I didn't want to go too far. I want to make sure that I'm able to fly it there and back. Alright, so that's your Inspire 1. Love flying it. It's probably the best one compared to the S1000 and the Phantom series drone. Okay, as you can see, the X3 camera on the Inspire 1, the video record on this camera, the X3, is quite amazing. This is a 4K scaled down to 1080p, 24 frames per second, but you can see the color on this video and the detail. You can see the leaves on the tree, the grass, and the rippling of the water in the creek. Wow, and the color is amazing. I did not do any color grading on this video. This is as is, whatever came from the camera, that's what you're seeing now. Now, I didn't do 4K because all my video is set right now to 1080p. Maybe in the future I will show you the 4K, but you can see even at 4K 1080p, this is amazing video. Now let it run for 30 seconds and enjoy the natural sceneries. Okay, so here's the S1000. Notice the remote control is very different from the Inspire 1 as well as the Phantom 3 and 4. It is like your RC radio controller, remote control. So that's why I felt kind of unease about flying this S1000. You have to make sure that you set, if you're a beginner, you have to set to GPS locked, and as well as make sure you are able to control the landing gear. That you can, it's a switch that you turn it on and off. So when you switch it up, the landing gear goes up, and when you put it down, it goes down. So make sure you have it down, especially if you're a beginner. So you do not want to land without that landing gear, because you know you have a gimbal in there that's like almost $1,500 gimbal, and if you have a camera in there, that's another couple thousand more. So you don't want to be wrecking your gimbal and your camera. So make sure you give it a try, fly it around, be very comfortable with this thing. I mean, when you move the throttle, when you move the joystick, going forward, backwards, sideways, it's a bit different from your Inspire 1 and your Phantom 3 and 4, because I don't know how to say it, it's just when you move it, it's just like a big ship. It just moves, and when you come to a full stop, it doesn't stop right away. It kind of slows down and come to, you know, a stop, but it's not completely stopped. So you got to make sure you give yourself a leeway when you're moving around the space. This here, I have a large field. I'm just making sure that I know how to control this properly. And every time you fly this thing, like I said, I have this rush, you know, adrenaline rush, and just feel like a bit nervous because it's such a big machine, and you know, you feel like, can I fly this thing? So you got to practice a lot with this drone, the S1000. Now I'm going to show you the clips where I hooked up my Blackmagic pocket camera onto the gimbal, and you'll see it's slightly different than Inspire, because with this type of camera I can color grade the image. So have a look. Okay, as you can see, this is an image or video taken from Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, which is hooked up to my DJI s1000. You can see the difference. I can color grade this image. Now I could do that with the Inspire 1 as well as the Phantom 4 Pro as well, but you can see with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, the color rendition is 422 and 10 bits. So you can see that beautiful billions of color spectrum on this camera, and you see the advantage now of flying S1000, the ability to hook up this cinematic type of camera onto this drone, and you can have a very, very beautiful cinematic film like quality video. So I will let you enjoy the rest. EducateTube.com.